Lamborghini Trattori is an Italian agricultural machinery manufacturer. The company designs and builds tractors. It was founded in 1948 in Cento in Italy by Ferruccio Lamborghini, who later went on to establish Automobili Lamborghini. In 1973, it became part of the SAMI Group and later SDF Group that we're all familiar with now. So everybody, you're very welcome back to the channel. To all our new subscribers and indeed all our old subscribers, you're very welcome back, and thank you so much for watching. And if you haven't yet subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. It does help me out, and please click on the like button. And of course, as always, as I ask everybody, please leave a comment in the comments section. Now, I'm not going to waffle on too long. I'm going to get pretty much straight into it. So this video is about Lamborghini. It's about Ferruccio Lamborghini himself. Talk about his history with the tractors and with the car end of things and other enterprises he was involved in. And I will have a short talk towards the end, more so towards the end of the video. We'll deal with some of the tractor models and how the tractor business came about. So we'll get started then. So Ferruccio Lamborghini was born on the 28th of April 1916 and he died on the 20th of February 1993. He was an Italian automobile designer. He was a soldier. He was an inventor, a mechanic, an engineer, a winemaker, an industrialist, and a businessman who created Lamborghini Trattori in 1948 and the Automobili Lamborghini in 1963. He was a maker of high-end sports cars in Santa Agata, Bologna. So he was born to grape farmers in Renazzo from the municipality of Cento in the Emilia-Romagna region. His mechanical know-how led him to enter the business of tractor manufacturing in 1948 when he founded Lamborghini Trattori, which quickly became an important manufacturer of agricultural equipment in the midst of Italy's post-World War economic boom. So that would have been, of course, World War II. In 1959, he opened an oil burner factory, Lamborghini Bruciatori, which later entered the business of producing air conditioning equipment. And please, as I always say, please forgive my pronunciation of Italian. There's a lot of Italian words in this that are a little bit of a tongue twister. And if you are Italian or you speak Italian and you're watching this, please don't be offended by my feeble attempt at Italian language. And of course, as we're all aware, Lamborghini tractors in particular have become pretty popular over the last few years, with a certain Mr. Clarkson, you know, purchasing one on his Clarkson's Farm show on Amazon. And excuse me, whether you love him or hate him, you have to admit he does make a good program. Entertaining, he's never short of, you know, controversy, but he is always entertaining and he has a loud mouth. And let's hope that for the sake of farming in the UK that he speaks for, his loud mouth will come to some rescue, some sort of help, because it's badly needed at the minute. So Lamborghini went on and he founded a fourth company. So forgive me now, Lamborghini Dinamica. So that's basically in Italian hydraulic engineering. So a hydraulic company in 1969. After creating Automobile Lamborghini in 1963, Lamborghini sold off many of his interests, and by the late 1970s had retired to an estate in Umbria where he pursued winemaking. Ferruccio Lamborghini was born, as I said, on the 28th of April 1916 to viticulturists Antonio and Evelina Lamborghini in house number 22 in Renazzo di Cento in the province of Ferrara in Emilia-Romagna, that region of northern Italy. As a young man, Lamborghini was drawn more to farming machinery rather than farming lifestyle itself. Following his interest in mechanics, Lamborghini studied at the Fratelli d'Adria Technical Institute near Bologna. In 1940, he was drafted into the Italian Royal Air Force, where he served as a mechanic at the Italian garrison on the island of Rhodes, territory of the Kingdom of Italy since 1911, after the Italo-Turkish War, becoming the supervisor of the vehicle maintenance unit. So when the Germans, when they turned on their former Italian allies in September 1943, most soldiers either fled or were among 30,000 Italians that were captured as prisoners of war. Lamborghini initially escaped capture, but later returned to his former workplace in civilian clothes, and he worked several odd jobs, and with the permission of the German forces, opened up a small workshop. When the island fell to the British at the end of the war in 1945, he was arrested as a collaborator and was not able to return home to Italy until the following year, sometime around 1946. So 1946, he married Clelia Monta, who he met in Rhodes during the war when he was stationed on the island of Rhodes. On October the 13th, 1947, their son Tonino was born, but sadly, Clelia died giving birth. In 1948, Lamborghini met Anita Borgatti, a 24-year-old teacher and daughter of the owners of the Fontana Hotel in Cento, who would accompany him in running his business for more than 30 years. So Lamborghini's passions for engines and machines led him to work in a company that overhauled military vehicles. During World War II, he found the opportunity to experiment with his mechanical skills as a repair technician at the 50th Mixed Unit. The 50th Mixed Motor Unit. So that was a military base in Rhodes. In 1947, obviously, there was a growing demand for tractors in the Italian market post-war. Combined with the experience gained in repairs, this pushed Lamborghini to pursue a career as an entrepreneur in the production of tractors. He bought surplus military vehicles from the war and transformed them into agricultural machinery, as many did after the war. So after World War II, Lamborghini opened a garage in Pieve di Cento. Lamborghini modified an old Fiat Topolino he had purchased, the first of many he would own over the years. And in his spare time, he would make tractors, which will be the first Lamborghinis he would make. He made use of his mechanical abilities to transform this homely city car into a roaring 750cc open-top two-seater and entered the car in the 1948 Mille Miglia. So that's a historic Italian 1,000-mile race. His participation ended after 1,100 kilometers or 680 miles when he ran the car into the side of a restaurant in the town somewhere of Turin, someplace near Turin. So looking at the start of his entrepreneurial endeavours, in 1947, Ferruccio Lamborghini recognised an emerging market in post-war Italy devoted to agricultural and industrial revitalisation. So using parts from military vehicles and differentials from ARR centres, Lamborghini built his first Carioca tractors, themselves based on the 6-cylinder petrol engines of Morris trucks. As petrol in Italy was prohibitively priced, Lamborghini augmented the Morris engines with a fuel atomizer of his own creation, which allowed the tractors to be started with petrol and then switched to cheaper diesel fuel. Based on the initial success of the Carioca, Lamborghini founded Lamborghini Trattori and began manufacturing tractors. Lamborghini's increasing wealth allowed him to purchase faster and more expensive cars than the tiny Fiats he had tinkered with during his youth. He owned many cars such as Alfa Romeos and Lancias, as you would when you're Italian, during the early 1950s, and at one point he had enough cars to use a different one every day of the week. So he had a Mercedes-Benz 300 SL, a Jaguar E-Type Coupe, and he had two Maseratis, two 3500 GT Maseratis. In 1958, Lamborghini travelled to Maranello to buy a Ferrari 250 GT, two-seater coupe with a body designed by none other than coach builder Pininfarina. He went on to own several more over the years, including a Scaglietti designed 250 GT short wheelbase Berlinetta and a 250 GT 2+2 four-seater. Lamborghini thought Ferrari's cars were good, but too noisy and rough to be proper road cars. He categorised them as repurposed track cars with poorly built interiors. So Lamborghini found that Ferrari's cars were equipped with inferior clutches and required continuous trips to Maranello for rebuilds. Technicians would hide his car away for several hours, perform the work, and this was much to Lamborghini's annoyance. He had previously expressed dissatisfaction with Ferrari's after-sale service, which he perceived to be substandard. Lamborghini brought his misgivings to Enzo Ferrari's attention, but was dismissed by Ferrari. After successfully modifying one of his personally owned Ferrari 250 GTs to outperform stock models, Lamborghini gained the impetus to pursue an automobile manufacturing venture of his own, aiming to create the perfect touring car that he felt no one could build for him. So, in essence, basically, the beginning of the Lamborghini car end of things, the car business, the sports cars, was because he believed that Ferraris were inferior. that he wasn't basically happy with the quality of them and he was going to make them better. So yeah, that was an interesting bit of research there. So Lamborghini believed that a Grand Tour should have attributes that were lacking in Ferrari's offerings, namely high performance without compromising ride quality and interior appointments. A clever businessman, Lamborghini also knew that he could make triple the profit if the components used in his tractors were installed in a high-performance exotic car instead. In 1974, Lamborghini exited the industrial world and retired to its 740-acre estate named La Ferrietta on the shores of Lake Trasimeno in Umbria region in central Italy. Returning to his farming roots, Lamborghini delighted in hunting and producing his own wines. Lamborghini even designed his own golf course, all the while continuing to manage a few business interests. So when you look at the timeline there, so 1974, he exited the industrial world, and I think it was in 1973. 1973 that Sammy bought out Lamborghini, so that was him out of the picture. So at the age of 76, on the 20th of February 1993, Lamborghini died at Silvestrini Hospital in Perugia, having suffered a heart attack 15 days earlier. Lamborghini is buried at the cemetery in Renazzo. All of Ferruccio Lamborghini's companies continue to operate today in one form or another. His son Tonino designs a collection of clothing and accessories under the Tonino Lamborghini brand, as well as designing the Town Life, an electric microcar that was revealed at the Bologna Motor Show in 1999. Founded in 1948 by Ferruccio Lamborghini, Lamborghini Trattori did not have a long tradition like the historical names such as Fiat and Landini. In fact, it had used discarded war materials to produce its first tractors, as we said. Truck and military vehicles and differentials that were sourced from ARR centres, that's the company survey of disposal of residuals. So basically a recycling centre, were used to build the Carioca tractor. These machines featured significant innovative technical solutions, a fuel atomizer, which when used in conjunction with a Morris engine allowed the tractor to be started on petrol and switched to diesel. Within a few years, the company production had gone from one tractor a week to 200 per year. And new Italian-made engines were replacing the old war surplus. In 1951, the L33 came into being, the first production tractor made entirely by Lamborghini, with the exception of the engine, a diesel-fueled 3.5 litre inline 4-cylinder Morris engine equipped with a fuel atomizer patented by Lamborghini himself. The enactment of the Fanfani Law on the 25th of July 1952 that set aside 125 billion lira with an interest rate of 3% over 5 years for farmers who purchased Italian-made agricultural machinery helped the company to make that leap in quality. In fact, it was in the first half of the 1950s that Lamborghini was transformed to all effects into an industrial affair. By 1952, the new models, the DL15, DL20, 25 and 30 were presented, following the next year by the 40 and 50. The first Lamborghini crawler, a DL25C, was introduced in 1925, followed by the DL30C in its characteristic yellow colour, so that was the commercial industrial machine. A new plant was opened in 1956. In 1957, in the wake of the San Cemento, the company introduced the Lamborghinetta. So I assume that small Lamborghini weighing 1 tonne with 22 horsepower, 2-cylinder engine, and sold at a price of around 1 million lira. In 1962, with the 2-or DT model, Lamborghini produced a series of 4-wheel drive tractors with air-cooled engines. With thanks to a notable increase in sales in 1968 and 69, Lamborghini Trattori adopted a strategy aimed at improving both the technical quality of its tractors and their production volumes. Lamborghini tractors were the first in Italy to be fitted with a synchronized gearbox as standard, and the range was further extended with higher power models. Of course, Lamborghini Trattori, as we said, was taken over by Sammy in 1973. At the beginning of the 21st century, the R6, the R7 and the R8 ranges entered production. In 2013, on the occasion of the International SEMA Trade Fair in Paris, the new Nitro tractor was presented to the market. It stood out for its white casing and totally renewed design. Thanks to Nitro, Lamborghini Trattori won a series of international awards, including Tractor of the Year, Golden Tractor for the design in 2014 and the Red Dot Award in 2014. So that's it. That's where I am leaving it with Lamborghini. I might come back over it at some stage, maybe down the line, and include Lamborghini Sami Hurleyman tractors with Dites. Might put them all into one little video and talk about the best of those type tractors, because let's face it, they are all the one these days. You can't have one without the other. So yeah, that's it. Of course, as always, if you have any history with the brand, with Lamborghini, be it cars or be it tractors, please feel free to drop a comment into the comment section, and I will be sure to reply. And as I always say, I don't just read them, other viewers read them and get a lot out of them, and I do see conversations sprouting up over the comment section. So thanks a million for watching, everybody, and let's see everyone next week.